You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Dads After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Dads After Show.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's After Show for Dads on Fox. Season 1, Episode 13, titled Eli Nightingale. Hilarious episode. I am your host, Lauren Leonelli, and here with me I have
Jenifer Golden.
That's right. This episode was written by our friend John Viener, who has called in before, for you fans who have listened and watched. And I know that I always say, oh, this episode's so funny, that this so far, I think my other favorite episode was the Pop Brownie one. This, by far, favorite episode of the season.
Yeah, I would say me too.
I love the writing style. Like, it's still
not just because we're friends with him.
Not just because we're friends with John Viener. But I literally, it's just like a funny, a little, like, spice of his humor. And it's not so off from, you know, the feel of the show, because all the writers, they work together, and so that it feels organic, and it feels like part of a collaboration, obviously, but there was just a little extra funniness to me.
Yeah.
You know? And the other episode that John wrote was the one with Shua, the maid that came in. Is that the one where Edna was moved over and was cleaning Warner and Camilla's?
Yes, and that is why they had to.
And
Crawford.
David. Hi, David. We're just going to shoot names out like that all episode.
David
hired, and Eli, they hired a cleaning woman because they needed somebody else, and it was John Viener. And there was a voice, John, so I'm getting ahead of myself. So exciting. John Viener is going to call in and talk to us again for the second time, because we just love John Viener.
And since he wrote the episode, it totally makes sense.
It's only fitting.
He's got to tell us, like, the ins.
And there was a part of this episode where there was a voice that yelled something. I don't know if it was the voice that yelled, "Oh, he's dead." Oh, no. It was like over a loudspeaker. It was like somebody announcing something. What was that?
Oh, it was when the building, Veronica's building, had a fire alarm.
Yes. Well, it was Eli's building, because he was bringing her up to his apartment. Remember?
No, I think he was bringing her to hers, and then because of the fire alarm, after he went all the way up, had to then get her jacket and went all the way down, and then had to go all the way up again. Then there was a fire alarm, and they had to evacuate the building, which is why he brought her to his place and not her place.
I know, but he said, we'll ask John when he calls, but he said, "You can lay in my bed." And she goes, "I'm not laying in your bed." And she goes, "Okay, fine." That's why they were, he left, that's why they were walking up the stairs. She left her jacket in the downstairs where the office is, and then they walked back up the stairs to where we'll ask John.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's whatever. It doesn't really matter. But anyway, it was John's voice. It was totally John's voice over the loudspeaker. We have to ask him.
I didn't notice that.
I don't know why I thought it was. It sounded like him. So
interesting.
Let's ask him when he calls.
Okay.
And if you guys have any questions for us, for John, you can tweet us, or you can call in after John, 424-254-1729.
Wait, it's 254? I put 256 when I text him.
You were right, Jen. You were right, Jen.
Sorry. I always
Lauren was originally
424-256-1729. But let's hold on the calls until after John.
After John Viener calls. If you guys have any other questions, you can call. If we have time, we might spend some time talking to John, because he's going to have some juicy...
We have a caller right now.
...knowledge for us, and that must be John.
Caller, you're on the line with the Dads After Show.
Oh, John, how are you? It's Lauren.
Do you assume it's me just because no one else has this number?
We only gave it to you. So
it's your private line.
Perfect.
Yes. We were just talking about how hilarious this episode was.
The one that just aired?
The one that we just saw. I'm sorry, the one that we're discussing, which is episode 13, Eli Nightingale, that you wrote.
I wrote, yes.
We loved it.
Really funny.
Really
especially
funny.
the throw up.
And we're not, especially the throw up. And we're not just saying that because you're on the line. Okay, I have a question for you. Was your voice the loudspeaker voice?
We couldn't find anyone in LA.
It was you, John. It was you. I knew it.
Lauren knew.
I just called that, John. I totally knew it was you. Couldn't find it.
It's one of those things where like you're on the set and this has to happen. So
yeah,
I don't try to be greedy with work. I don't.
You mean like when you cast yourself as the hot maid, shirtless maid that was going?
It was hot shirtless maid, and then after I did it, they took the hot out of it.
Oh sure.
Became shirtless maid. Guy who may have had too many drinks over the last few years.
Oh no! Now come on,
Pizza loving maid.
You're not giving yourself enough credit. Okay, so I also have to ask you. Everyone was like really surprised by the whole throw up scene, which was classic. Please tell me that your inspiration came from Stand By Me, the pie eating scene.
If you need me to say that, then yes, it came from that scene.
Darn it.
Lauren just yelled at me because I've never seen that movie.
Jen has never seen Stand By Me, John.
I have seen Stand By Me. Who hasn't?
No, Jen has not seen it. Jen.
Really?
I mean, that's like, you got to see it. It's River Phoenix.
The two of you really need to change that
and
for me.
It's touching.
It is touching. It's great. And there's a pie eating contest scene where they violently throw up all over each other. And that's what this reminded me of. And it's one of my favorite movies, so that's a compliment. And obviously they were rigged up for that one, huh, John?
They were rigged up? You mean did they actually throw up?
No, I know they didn't actually throw up, but there was like hoses shooting the throw up out.
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean when in a couple shots their mouths are closed, but there's still vomit coming out? Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't notice that.
I didn't either. I'm going to watch it again.
No, we had fun. No, it was a crazy fun rig that they did, and it was insane. And the actors were such good sports because they just were getting drenched.
Right. How many takes did it take, or did you do?
We did a lot. I mean, there were this is not Jaws, but the shark was not always working.
Right.
So it took a number of takes because you have to these people who have I don't know exactly what the engine was of it, if it was just like an air propelled device or if they had whatever it was, they had to like sort of ramp up the vomit so that when they opened their mouths they could time it right. But there was a whole sequence that had to happen, but they did it over and over again, and we had. I don't know how many outfits we went through, but it was a good number. I felt bad for wardrobe.
Were they cursing you when you wrote the episode? And they throw up all over each other for 5 minutes straight. Were they like, John?
Where did the inspiration for this episode come from? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Where in your brain did you keep this?
I think because, we all believe bodily fluids to be funny, and we're trying to go through all of them on the show. So we have a checklist, and vomit was one of them. So. We had to service it.
Okay, you got to.
But it came out of. I feel like this episode, if it has any overall theme, it was about trying. It was more about Eli really caring about Veronica.
Yeah.
And so we started to play with that, and then it was sort of, what's the worst thing that could happen if you dated somebody that you were really interested in? And it was like, oh my God, I mean, there are a lot of other parts of the body that could go wrong, but this felt like it was actually part of the story where he takes care of someone who's sick and then gets sick,
of course,
and tries to fight his way through it, and because of that, it turns into an explosion.
So this is kind of like mid-season-ish. Was this sort of like, I, as a viewer, and we've talked about this on our show, have been wanting Veronica and Eli to kind of have a little love session because there's little very subtle, but little hints here and there of like flirtation, and like you can tell that Eli, although he's attracted to many people, is attracted to her. So is this like the middle kind of Act 2 overarching season decision to make them sort of decide to be more than just friends?
Well, we've mapped out a 20-season structure. So this is really just Act 1 of 20. No, that's exactly right. We're trying to push them together and to show that they are attracted to each other, and it's you know, what is drawing them together at the same time? Eli's immature, and what is he going to give up to be with Veronica?
Who is very she is very mature, very together, very, you know, we want to see her let loose a little. So I feel like she will grow him up, and he will let her free a little.
Exactly. And I mean, the banter, you know, it's not that it's reset. I think we've started to chip away at what their relationship could be, and that they could get together. But, you know, I think what we've realized at the end of the episode is he's not ready, or she's not ready to put up with him, so they're going to have to keep working to get there.
Okay, so...
But will we get there?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Well, I can't tell you that.
What?
Yeah, I guess you can't. But see...
We do have some interesting episodes in the pipeline about men in Veronica's life.
Oh, really?
We love her. We want to know more.
Yeah, I totally want to know more about her. Smart decision on your guys' part to reveal some stuff, because you've really done a good job of doing that with Tony DeCastro's character, Edna. And obviously the show is really a lot about Eli and Warner, so we love to dive into the other characters as well. And Veronica, I don't know.
Whenever she makes an Asian comment, I giggle inside and outside. Like when she said that Asians don't get sick, and then she was sick.
And they drink horrible soups or whatever it is. I mean, pretty genius, John. I'm trying to think of like, oh, you know what I also like too, is I like when you guys, and being that you wrote this episode, it was obviously clearly you, when you address like the obvious, which is in this episode where, you know, Eli had the date, and then he was upset that his dad came in, and then the date left, and his dad said, "Why are you surprised every time I disappoint you?" And it's like, yeah, because he is constantly surprised. Right. And it's like, you address the obvious. It's going to get old otherwise, unless someone points it out, you know? And it's funny that he is still disappointed by it, and then that he's called out on it, you know?
Yeah, I think that, you know, it's those kind of lines that are very truthful. I can't take credit for that one. I can't tell you who did, because I don't remember. But yeah, no, I always love that stuff, because it's weirdly resonant to not just the characters, but, you know, real life.
Right.
At least for some of us in the room who have those relationships. So it's fun to feel like, even though there's a lot of wacky stuff going on the show, we are trying to be mindful of finding what a real father-son relationship is, and to play with that too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we definitely have, as you like, the vomits scene is incredibly false,
right?
In the sense that nobody, you know, maybe becomes sketch-like, but at the same time, the relationship between Eli and Veronica, I don't think has ever been as real in the show as it was in that episode.
Yeah, it felt very real.
Yeah, so it's fun to play with both extremes, and you know, so if you can make fun and then let David have some crazy jokes, and then also at the same time say, hey, look, I've been a disappointment to you as a father for however many years, for over 35 years. I don't know why this is a surprise anymore.
Right.
Do you have a favorite character?
I do. Fred Flintstone. I think that he...
You got to be more specific with John. You know he's going to run down the path.
I'm sorry. On the show Dads, do you have a favorite character?
I don't. I mean, outside of Shua, which is my character.
Oh, Shua.
You know, you don't remember the title.
No, yeah, we did.
Yeah, we do. I thought you said Sheila. I was like, who's Sheila?
I thought you said Sheila as well, so that's why I was confused.
Oh, no, Shua. No, I really don't. I think it's fun. I mean, whenever you're writing a script, it's always fun to play in everybody's voice.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of you and everybody?
Exactly. You have to give over. There's a small Asian woman inside me.
I knew it.
There definitely is.
John, I knew it. I just did. Well, but if you...
And a large Hispanic woman, for sure.
And a large Hispanic woman.
Yeah.
If you had to... I mean, you might not have a favorite character, but who do you think you're most alike?
Who am I most like? I would say that I'm an unmarried Warner.
Okay.
Yes.
Like I like his neurotic nature. And, you know, I think that I appeal most to him, but I'm unmarried and don't have the worries of a home life. But
right. No,
you would plan a good wedding.
It's fun how he's trying really hard and undoes himself all the time.
I love that about him. This episode especially, we really got to see that unravel. I mean, the neuroses with the black light and just like, and then that all built up to when the throw up happened. It made it even more ridiculous. Like
when he couldn't even hear the word throw up or vomit.
And then one of the best parts of the throw up scene was when it first happened and he took the glass of water from the people's table next to him and tried to wash himself off with it. Oh God, he's great. Giovanni is great as that neurotic kind of womanly man.
yes, he's amazing.
Yeah,
and he finds so many things. I mean, all the actors do, but they find things that we don't see because when you're writing, you think mostly in terms of jokes, and you don't always know what the visuals are, how it's going to land, and how they're going to personalize it. But a lot of credit should be going to the actors for finding it in their roles.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, fine. I mean, let's not give them all the credit.
I mean, you make the words that come out of their mouth, okay?
Yes, exactly.
Unless they improv. So.
And speaking of improv, that's what I was about to say. Was there any, because we know that you guys play a lot with improv on the show and during the live taping and stuff. Was there anything we always like to know?
I wouldn't say we do improv as much as we collectively rewrite in the moment.
Oh, really? Okay. I mean, not that I'm not assuming that they let these actors go off on like a 5-minute improv scene, but sometimes they'll drop a line here or there, right? I mean, I would say that everybody's very good about, knowing their lines on the day. And what's been good about the show is everyone's got such a good relationship that an actor can walk up and say, this line isn't working for me. What about this? And we'll discuss it. Okay, cool.
So it does become a very collaborative thing. And so, as you guys have been there, you can, well, I guess Jenifer's been there, but.
Yes.
Speaking of,
have you both been there?
I have not. Well, I have, but not for a tape day.
Okay, well, you should come for a tape day. But yeah,
I was going to actually really just invite us again in case you want us back.
Yeah, I know,
together,
right?
You're always welcome to come.
We'll be there.
You're our favorite guest.
Oh, did you hear that? AfterBuzz TV Dads on Fox's favorite guest. You heard it here first, from John Viener's mouth to your ears.
But I mean, as works in any live action show that's shooting in front of an audience, like there is the improv element of we're going to shoot this again in 3 minutes. We need new jokes.
Right.
And
you're responsible for coming up with those on the fly as the writer.
Yeah, no, there's all the writers sort of huddle together, and then the actors will come over, and it basically becomes third and long. And you're like, okay, well, this didn't work. We got to come up with a play.
No, that's good though, and you can. And I really feel like when you watch a show, we said this before, it really feels like everyone's friends and having a good time. And I can imagine those moments happening, and that's what makes it feel organic and real. Besides the projectile vomit that it's there obviously for a laugh and a gag, there's other moments where you feel like these people really do have relationships, and it's showing through on screen.
Yeah, I mean, I think what some of the best moments are that I think the true relationship between the actors as people comes through, and they're good actors. So there's it's not it's cliche, but it's a bit of a love fest. We all like each other.
Oh, well, that's nice. That's
amazing.
Good to know. I mean, it's not cliche, and that's
or they all like each other.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what they say about you when you leave the room, John?
Right. When I leave, they're like, "Get out of here."
Yeah, get that Shua guy. Get that guy that keeps casting himself in every episode he writes.
Exactly.
Get him the heck out of here. John, before we let you go, I need to ask you, because Jen and I, and I'm sure there's other people that love your writing style. What are you doing? Can we see your work anywhere else?
What's going on with you outside of Dads?
What's going on with you?
Tell us everything.
I have some videos on YouTube of short films. I had a couple.
I actually saw that.
Wait, what are they? Can you tell us what they are, where we can find them?
If you were to look up my last name, which is Viener, and I have a film that was in Sundance called Lighten Up.
Okay.
Ooh, and
congrats.
It's a short film that's like 7 minutes or something.
Okay.
And then from that I have some other shorts. I did one with Alex Borstein a few years ago about me trying to hit on her at a bar and not being very successful.
Oh, that sounds funny.
Called Bar Guys.
Okay, Bar Guys.
And I did something with the short that I got in the Sundance was with Mather Zickel, who's a very good actor. He's Louis LaFonda on Newsreaders on Adult Swim.
Okay.
But yeah, we did another thing called Wall Street. So yeah, that's what I'm up to, and I'm trying to write stuff on the side just to get out, as I said, my neurosis. So.
Right. Well, keep us posted because we love your work and we would love to see more of it. So let us please know, and we would love to come watch more of your work on Dads, and we look forward to the rest of the season.
You're always welcome to come.
Okay,
Thank you. And I have a last question, just to sort of close the loop on our prediction from last week.
Oh.
We were wondering if the marriage and divorce of Edna and David will ever be brought up again.
I can't speak to that because we haven't examined it. What I like about it is I think we felt the finality of it if we needed it, and we could still reopen it. But they're back to bickering, and I think that the fact that they had
the sex,
flesh relations,
Yes.
I think that was in a way, from Edna's character saying, when I'm in a marriage, I service my husband, and now that I'm out of a marriage, I'm not interested in this man anymore.
Good call.
Mm-hmm. So I don't think there's any danger of them hooking up while people are out of the house.
Oh, I hope not.
Because nobody wants to think about that.
Right. Clever writing on your part.
Yes.
Or on the team's part.
Yeah, we're a team.
That's right. Well, a great team you are, because we really enjoyed this episode, and thank you again so much for calling in. We always enjoy talking to you. Maybe we'll
thank you for having me.
Get to talk to you again soon, and hopefully we will see you soon on the set of Dads, so we can bring back some knowledge for all of
we're
our
still
fans.
Shooting, so our season ends soon.
All right, I know we got to get in there. We better hurry.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much, John. Happy New Year. Thank you for calling, and we hope to talk to you soon.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for having me.
All right. Thanks, John.
Take care, guys.
Bye. Love him.
Love.
He is just great.
Well, we really do have to go to set.
No, we do.
I mean, that was like a formal invite.
It was.
He means business when he says he's going to do something.
Basically, we just got invited to go back. So we will bring back some amazing little tidbits for you all.
And behind-the-scenes photos.
Duh.
Hello.
Totes behind-the-scenes photos that we will put up on the... Yes.
And maybe we will do some, like, one-on-ones.
Yeah, we should.
Oh, we'll just... I mean, our friend Seth will be there. Vanessa will be there.
I mean, we're basically friends with everybody on the set.
So we gotta bring you stuff from there.
We're like Band-Aids for Dads.
I am not contributing to that.
Whatever. I mean, we basically talked about everything in the episode. I think that...
I think we covered it. What we didn't cover was Veronica's Amaze Fest hair. That when she was sick. And they were talking about how ugly she was, but he actually was like compassionate. He's like, you're not ugly, you're just not perfect. Which I was like, stop, you think she's perfect.
And I know, and I like that how John brought up that, there's these funny gags, but there's all these real moments. And there is, with Eli, it's like, he is kind of like a womanizer, like likes to sleep around and just like...
That tall blonde lady was super hot.
Yeah. He does his thing, then moves on to the next, and there's never anything really below the surface. But we see him here having these these little deeper emotions and connections, and we know that he kind of likes Veronica, and he won't really admit it. But then when it came down to it, he felt bad. He said, he's like, yeah, my initial intentions were not good, but I like you and I like having you around. And I like seeing him like that because he's such a good actor, Seth, that you get to watch him be super funny and silly and impersonate people, and then you watch him be like still and real and vulnerable, and it's all very believable. Mm-hmm. And I like that the writing, thanks to John Viener and the team this episode especially, but throughout every episode this season, has been, conducive to letting that happen, to letting these people have a lot of fun, gaggy, jump over the couch, carry Eli on your back, projectile vomit on each other, and then have these real moments like we saw, I think it was like 5 episodes back where David told Eli that he really did care about him as a son, and he didn't want to keep disappointing him or whatever. But then we get those...
and he got the job being Santa to buy him a gift.
Exactly. Like we get to see those tender moments that, without being too cheesy, it's just a little...
I mean, they have to be realistic in some ways.
Of course.
Otherwise, I don't even... It would be a lot of suspension of disbelief.
And they have to let you into the character so that you can care about them. And we all genuinely care about them, I think.
We do.
I do. I do.
I do too.
I do too.
Wait, I'm a little sad though, not to lie, that Veronica and Eli have sort of, gone separate ways.
I don't want that to be over. And she's just like, okay, see you at work. I don't think.
Well, he would then grow self again. So.
I have a prediction for that we'll get to.
Right.
Let's just go to predictions right now.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, so that was an echo. That was
predictions.
That means our predictions better be triple the goodness of usual. Don't put the pressure on me, Stephen. Okay, this is a good prediction though, because I feel like sitcom writing style and format doesn't really lend itself to carrying like a storyline through a bunch of episodes, soap opera style or 1 hour drama style. I feel like here they don't revisit things like the sex between Edna and David and the marriage and whatever. But they do sometimes leave things open-ended, as John said, so they can revisit it if they want. This, for sure, is going to get revisited because they've been working their way up to it the entire season.
Absolutely. We've been
little
following.
hints.
Yep.
My prediction is there is going to be a kiss or something that's going to end the season. So episode 18 is going to be like, ba-bam! And then we're going to have to wait Dawson's Creek style for season 2 when the show gets picked up so that we can see what happens between them.
I would have to agree. I mean, I don't know that it'll be, episode 18, but I love that prediction.
I'm just getting specific with my predictions because we had 3 echoes of the prediction, so I thought I needed to step it up.
I like it. It was very, intense and, focused.
What I do.
I would just say going on Viener not being so specific and kind of leaving it up in the air too and not committing to telling us anything really, that there will be something.
Okay.
Because otherwise he would have been like, no, we closed the loop or we left it open.
Right.
Like he did about Edna and David. I sort of expected him to be like, I can't tell you.
Right.
But then he did, so I'm like,
But he always likes to tell us good stuff.
I know, which is why we got to go to set and get more.
I know, we do. We'll bring you more goods. Speaking of goods, let's move into some news and gossip in a little.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So, I can tell you that I know a little bit about some episodes coming up, and without telling you too much, I'm just going to say that one of them, written by our friend John, has to do with a very funny stripper bit. And that's all I'm going to tell you. So make sure you tune in for that episode, which I think is being shot this week. And maybe that will be the one that we can go watch.
But
that would be it has to do with strippers. And the only reason why and I'm not giving anything away, but I just think John is really good at bringing in kind of, not controversial is not the right word, but really edgy topics. When do you see people talking about strippers on sitcoms?
I don't know.
You don't. And vomiting and people having sex with I just think it's funny that he brings in that kind of humor. So we've got something to do with some strippers. And I also know somebody that is involved, and I'm going to see if I can get that person in for an interview as well. So we can hopefully bring that to you along with some inside set knowledge from that day when we go and watch the live taping.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, I think that's it. John Viener was the writer of this episode. He called in, and if you want to look up any of his stuff, he said he had a film in Sundance called Lighten Up. Bar Guys and Wall Street are all things that you can look up on YouTube under his last name, which is Viener. And also you can follow him on Twitter at MyGiveUp. And thank you guys for tuning in and listening and watching. And thank you for rating us on iTunes.
Yeah.
Please tell a friend and rate us and let us know what you think. If you want more guests, we're bringing them to you. Let us know if you like what you see.
Or any questions you want us to ask when we go on set.
Exactly.
Let us know.
Please let us know. Tweet us or send us a message on iTunes, wherever, YouTube, wherever you want. I am your host, Lauren Leonelli. You can find me at Lauren Leonelli on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Vine, and my website.
And I'm Jenifer Golden. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jen the Jew. My website's jenifergolden.com, and on Facebook, Jenifer Golden.
All right, we'll see you guys next week, hopefully with some nice, interesting tidbits from our week to come. All right, see you guys then.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.